and we missed in some cases billions of dollars of profit because of the fact that I'd gotten anchored in effect to some initial price when I could have paid more subsequently, and it really was inconsequential.
Do you have anything worse to confess than Walmart?
Walmart, I cost us about, it's up to 10 billion now. I cost us about 10 billion. I set out to buy 100 million shares of Walmart pre-split at about 23, and Charlie said it didn't sound like the worst idea I ever came up with, which is, from him, I mean, just ungodly praise. And then, we bought a little, and then it moved up a little bit, and I thought, well, maybe it'll come back, or what. Who knows what I thought? I mean, only my psychiatrist could tell me. And that thumb-sucking, reluctance to pay a little more, the current cost is in the area of 10 billion. And there have been other examples, too. And there will probably be more examples in the future, unfortunately. But that's on the other hand, it doesn't bother us. I mean, it's maybe instructional to talk about it just a little, and I'm glad to respond to the question. But in the end, we're going to make a lot of mistakes at Berkshire, and we've made them in the past. We'll make them in the future. If every shot you hit in golf was a hole-in-one, it wouldn't be. The game would soon lose interest. So you have to hit a few in the woods occasionally just to make it a little more interesting. We'll try not to do that too often. Those will be the kind of mistakes we make. We probably won't make the kind of mistakes, although we have. We made one with Dexter Shoe. But we probably won't make the kind that they cost us a ton of money. There'll be much more of omission than commission, I think you'll find in the future. Charlie, you want to add any more?
At least we are constantly thinking about the past occasions when we blew opportunities. Since those don't hit financial reports, the opportunities you had but didn't accept, most people don't bother thinking about them very much. And at least that is a mistake we don't make. We rub our own noses in our mistakes in blowing opportunities, as we just did.
Okay, number two.
How many hours per week on average did you spend with reading about companies? Thank you.
Well, when we were younger, we spent, probably Charlie compared to now, spent a lot more time. I spent a fair amount more time looking at companies. But if we were doing it over again, we would do it over again pretty much the same way. We would look at everything in sight that we thought we could understand, and the world hasn't changed in that respect. There may be some more people doing it, but there are a lot more companies to look at now, and we would read everything in sight about the businesses in the industries we thought we could understand. We would look for things that jumped out at us as being very cheap in relation to value, and we would have one enormous advantage because we would be working with far less capital, which means the universe of potential ideas would be far greater. But there's nothing different, in my view, about analyzing securities now than there was 50 years ago. Charlie?
Yeah, we read a lot and we thought a lot. I don't know anybody who is wise who doesn't read a lot. And on the other hand, that alone won't do it. You have to have a temperament, really, which grabs the correct ideas and does something with those ideas. And I think most people who read a lot don't have the necessary temperament, and they grab the ideas or they're simply confused by the mass of material. And of course that won't work.
Yeah, there's probably something. Phil Cray used to talk about having a money mind, and I would call it a business mind. And there are people that are better with identical IQs that are better adapted for one than the other, and the temperament is all important. I mean, if you can't control yourself, no matter what the intellect you bring to the process, you're going to have disasters. And Charlie and I have seen one after another. That it's not a business that requires extraordinary intellect.